And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to Hillside International Speedways. We're getting set for the running of the Hillside 140, race number 16 of the PCSRA Buffalo Wild Wings Series. Sorry about my chair, I'm just trying to get situated here. Anyway, we're getting ready for 140 laps here today. Our two races this past weekend, so far this weekend, has been interesting. Of course, it was a common collective race in the AutoZone Amateur Series. Excuse me, I'm drinking a soda, so I hope you all don't mind if I end up getting a burp. But anyway, we had a very common collective AutoZone Amateur Series race 2 days ago. However, yesterday in our Truck Series race, which was won by Gretchen Mueller, it was a wreck fest. And I have a bad feeling today's race could be a repeat of yesterday in the Truck Series. Hopefully that will not come into play tomorrow in the Monster Energy Series when they wrap up this race weekend before we head off to Hillside. On the pole position is Carla Sinat, came in as race 31st in the point standings. Alongside of her, Lucky Prescott in an alternate DLP colors this week with the green numbers on the roof. Prescott trying to make the playoffs, 37th in the points is where she is currently at. And it's looking pretty much very unlikely that even if she gets another win, I don't know if it will be enough for her to get herself into the top 30 in point standings for that win that she got earlier on this season at Bristol Dirt to count towards a spot in the playoffs. Stephanie Driscoll, second in points, has not been to victory lane this season, and neither has Makoto Tanaka, if you ask me. We do have a replacement driver for this weekend. If you want to know, because of what happened on Saturday as I'm recording this, and while I want to give you details why this happened, and this is because of a personal reason, Lainey Fredrickson out at DGM Racing because of what she did to me, which I don't want to go over why. Molly Thomas, a former driver of this series, will make her return to the Buffalo Wild Wings Series, and she'll take over the driving duties for the rest of the season. Even if Molly Thomas goes to victory lane today, it will not be enough for her to get her in the top 30 in points. She will be in that 36 for the rest of the season and also full-time next season. Lainey has not been doing good in points. Here's, by the way, the points. Speaking of points. So, yeah. Ari Springer has a 176-point lead over Stephanie Driscoll, who starts third. Wyatt Garcia, third in the point standings. Greta Wagner is fourth, as I'll show you the rest of the grid. All the way down to 39th. Greta Wagner is fourth in the point standings, 190 back. Darby King completes the top 5, 194 back. And while these cars are going ahead and rolling off pit lane, rest of the top 10 are Max Lipson, Annie Winters, John Wesley Allen, Amanda Wallace, and Paul Michaels, as the field is rolling off behind the pace car, the Chevy Camaro pace car. A lot of these teams up here inside the possible top 30 in points, with the exception of the 36 team, who's 29th in owner points. A win for them, they could be into the playoff conversation. Of course, Stephanie Driscoll is the only driver that's into the playoffs that has not been to victory lane this season. Here we go. Green flag is in the air. We're racing at Hillside. Almost said Papyrus. I don't know why. Notice some drivers starting at the rear to feel like the points leader, Ari Springer, and fifth in points, Darby King. We'll see how they do here in this race today. Carla Sinat has not had a very good season so far, 33rd in points. but she did lead the first lap of this race. Of course, Gretchen Mueller, who won the truck race yesterday, is possibly going to replace a driver who's not doing well in points, like possibly a Sierra Harris, who's dead last in points of the drivers who have a charter. Also with that 36 team, with Molly Thomas with Molly Thomas, because there's Bridget, who didn't have a good run in the truck race. With Molly Thomas taking over that 36 ride, the 36 will not lose their charter for next season. Molly Thomas is actually a former winner in this series. She won at Iowa when she drove for Richard Childress Racing, the number 2 Chevy Camaro in this series. That's been her only Buffalo Wild Wings Series win to date. There's Monica Towns, a driver who really needs a good run, because she's trying to keep her charter for next season. That's one of Zachary Taylor's drivers. Belle San Diego's back here, and she's about to go a lap down. Not sure what happened to the Wells Fargo Dodge. That is a tough break for Belle San Diego, who came in this race 14th in points, former winner this season. But she is up to speed, so I'm not exactly sure what happened, unless she might have got up really high or something. Whatever the case, that's still a tough break for her. Of course, this is race number 16. After this race, we only have 7 more races left to go here in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series, as the clock, as of this recording, has hit the top of the hour. Let's talk about the playoff grid now that we're discussing about former winners this season. Greta Wagner would still have the number 1 seed going into the reformatted playoff points. Ari Springer 2nd, Wyatt Garcia is 3rd, Darby King 4th, Max Lipson rounds out the top 5 in the playoff standings. Then it's Andy Winters, John Wesley Allen, Belle San Diego, Scarlett Nelson, Maria Nowicki, that's 10, and Ivory Walker is 11. That means Stephanie Driscoll is the last one to get in on points. Anyone below Stephanie Driscoll goes to victory lane. All 12 playoff spots would be filled with race winners. Of course, we have 3 winners outside the top 30 in points. Sean Arndt, 34th in points. Diana Lawson, 38th in points. And Lucky Prescott, 37th in points. All have wins, but not inside the top 30 in points, means their wins will not count towards a spot into the playoffs. There's Wyatt Garcia, former winner this season. He's trying to run down Stephanie Driscoll and Artie Springer for the points lead. There's Molly Thomas in the 36. I bet it's kind of a difficult situation for Molly having to step in this ride late in the season, especially when a playoff spot's up for grabs. So all Molly Thomas is going to do for the rest of the season is trying to find victory lane as many times as she can. Hattie Swore, on the other hand, she's trying to make the playoffs. Currently comes in this race 15th in the points. If she were to win today, she would not only be in the playoffs, but save herself from dropping down in this series from Monster, because she's a driver that comes in that race weekend in the danger zone in the Monster Energy Series. And of course, you will see her, Ari Springer, Darby King, as well as the other Monster Energy drivers tomorrow. If Luke Peters goes to victory lane, Luke Peters would be in a playoff position because he currently is 16th in the points. There's Stephanie Driscoll, 2nd in points. How would it be? Stephanie Driscoll, 2nd in points, could miss the playoffs. That would be a massive problem. And I told Cody that, and he was really shocked to hear that. There's Diana Lawson, really in a must-win situation. Has not been a good season for this 58 team, even though this 58 team will keep their charter for next season. Of course, Diana Lawson up here in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. She's a former Truck Series driver. Diana Lawson is actually a former winner in the AutoZone Amateur Series at Vegas when she started last and worked her way to win that race. Monica Towns, as I talked about, one of those drivers in the danger zone of possibly losing her charter. If she were to go to victory lane, not only would she be locked into the playoffs, but that 13 team would keep their charter for next season. There's Greta Wagner, two-time winner this season. We can solidify. She is the only driver confirmed into the playoffs. There's Paul Michaels in the 43. We talked about Bell San Diego, who has been to victory lane this season. Paul Michaels is the only petty car that has not been to victory lane this season. Would like to get a win to join her teammate, or join his teammate rather, into the playoffs. Greta Wagner ran in Monster last season, got a win, but was not high enough in points for that win to count towards the spot in the Monster Energy playoffs. Of course, she decided to come down here to the Buffalo Wild Wings series to drive for James Finch's Mikasuki Chevrolet. And so far, two-time winner this season, is the only driver that has multiple wins this season. And so far, what she can just do is just try to find more wins. All she's hoping for is a third win of the season. Everybody else who has a win this season, they're going to have to hope for a second win. That way they can be confirmed into the playoffs. I believe we're under caution. Yes, we are. Scarlett Nelson, last week's winner. The points leader, Ari Springer. Hattie Swore, Kaylee Rankin, April Winters. Oh, it's a huge one. Sean Arndt, Chloe Carmichael, Victor Gonzalez, Maria Nowicki. Mia Watts is in it. Jarrett Underhill. Bell San Diego. Second in points. Stephanie Driscoll might have been involved. Oh, boy. Huge wreck in turn one. Red flag immediately. That's a lot of cars involved. That is a massive wreck. That might have just ended Sean's chances of making it into the playoffs. Is that Sierra Harris involved? Yes, it is. Oh, man. So the points leader's collected. Possibly second in points is collected. Oh, Justin Hugo's involved? What in the world happened? Oh my, we have a couple of cars upside down up in turn one. That's Scarlett Nelson, Hattie Swore. Good night. That's a miserable way coming off a win for Scarlett Nelson. Oh, Diana Lawson, one of the drivers trying to get into the playoffs. She was collected in this. Oh my goodness. Lucky Prescott was in it. Yes, I was correct. Driscoll was collected as well. She got hit by Bell San Diego. So the top two in the points have had trouble. Both the Penske cars, I believe, were involved. I don't know about the 22, though. I think the 22 got through it. I think Diana Lawson's going to be okay. Other than that spin, I don't think she did a whole lot of damage. I think she just mashed it. Yeah, Amanda Wallace got through that. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Did Ivory Walker get a piece of this? She did not. She might have gotten through it, I believe. Let's go on board with the 70. She came in this race 28th in the points. Could not afford a bad day. I think they were almost 4 wide up there. That's probably what caused this incident. They were probably 4 wide. There's the wreck up ahead. How did she get through that? Wow. Excellent job for Ivory Walker. Got through that wreck. But the points leader, second in points, Carla Sanat got a piece of it. Sean Art, that might have just ended his possible chances of trying to get in the top 30 in the points. My goodness. And everyone's coming to pit road. Good grief. Wyatt Garcia looks like he's going to be the race leader when we go back to green. Boy, the big one took some names. Also, Victor Gonzalez was collected. And that's a driver who could not afford it. Because technically, he's in the danger zone of losing his charter. But to be fair, he's in the playoffs for trucks. So that becomes null and void. Green flag back in the air. Drivers out after that incident. 6 cars to be exact. Hattie Suarez out. Scarlett Nelson, who just got a win last week at Kansas, out of the race. Kaylee Rankin's out of the race. April Winters, I believe that will be all she wrote for April Winters to get a win this season and to make the playoffs. So I think we can safely say April Winters might have just been eliminated from having any chances of making the playoffs. Ari Springer, the points leader, 35th. Jared Underhill out of the race in 34th. So 2 of the 3 Penske cars are out of the race. Everyone else has continued on from that huge wreck. And I don't know how much damage the one car has. And let me remind you, that was second in points that was collected in that incident. So Stephanie Driscoll might have a golden opportunity, but she was collected in that wreck, and I don't know how much damage the one car has. Lucky Prescott, I think I can safely say that might have just ended Lucky Prescott making the playoffs. Looks like Driscoll's car might be okay. Probably a little damage to the left side of her jockey Chevrolet, but nothing too major. Caution for the second time today. Justin Hugo, Maria Nowicki have correct. Oh no, 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 no. No, Victor Gonzalez just ran in the 9. Good grief. Maria Nowicki is now out of the race, and that's another driver who could not afford a bad day. This might take her out of the top 30 in points, possibly. And this happened in front of her. Oh, Monica Towns, another driver involved. I didn't see that. Looks like the 55 thought he was clear, came down, got the 20, and then came down, got the 13. So Justin Hugo technically would get female abuse, but that will probably go to the 20 of Jake Putnam. Oh, Darby King was involved. I didn't see her collected in this. And she's smoking and she's out of the race. And then Victor Gonzalez just plowed the back of the Switch Chevrolet. I mean, the 6 just didn't slow down. And there's our second caution of the day. In the words of David Hobbs, good grief. Oh, brother. Something tells me we're in for a doozy of a race. I am really not excited about this. Hugo's out, Victor Gonzalez is out, Maria Nowicki is out, and also Darby King is out. So we're down to 29 drivers on track, 25 on the lead lap. 10 drivers have taken their cars behind the wall. Sean Art is starting to move up through the deal because I don't think Sean got any damage. I think he just got stuck on the apron, had to teleport to pit road. That was probably what happened, but either way, that's still a tough break for Sean. We're back to green with 100 to go. And that won't be our last pit stop these drivers will have to make today because they can't make it the rest of the way without stopping, even though they're on the GNS physics. Samantha Greenville now in second place. Ivory Walker needed a good run today to stay away from 30th in the points. And so far, she could be successful, but we have a long way to go. Paul Michaels, currently 10th in points. Like I said, if he goes to victory lane, he could have a playoff spot clinched. Because right now, Ivory Walker is actually the lowest driver that are inside the top 30 in points that has a win. There's Lulu Champagne, the only Chip Ganassi racing car other than the 40 who have not been involved in an incident. Hopefully I don't jinx her. Lucky Prescott, last car on the lead lap. This is a 5-car train for the lead. They have a 3.5 second lead on Amanda Wallace. Stephanie Driscoll's up there in 9th. As I said, came in this race 2nd in the points, so she might cut in the points lead of Ari Springer. And also for Ari Springer, the good news for her is that the gals that try to run her down for the Rookie of the Year points lead out of the race, that would be Darby King and Maria Nowicki. So we can definitely confirm, despite her DNF, Ari Springer will keep the Rookie of the Year points lead heading into next week at Charlotte. But how much of a hit is she going to take? And everybody behind Lainey Fredrickson in points will start moving up spots as Lainey starts to go probably down to 39th. That's probably where she's going to end up. Samantha Greenville, as they're about to lap Bell San Diego, and she's got company. If the 84 wins, the 84 could be in the playoffs, and it could be both the Red Bull cars into the playoffs, which I don't think that's ever happened before. And looks like Bell San Diego realized the 43 was coming and moves out of the way. And now Bell San Diego is going to be a great teammate to Paul Michaels and hold up the rest of that inside line. So Bell San Diego is just helping her teammate out, try to get a win this season. Top 3 is broken away. Chloe Carmichael trying to get out of the way. Chloe Carmichael came so close to winning the truck race yesterday, but it was snatched away by Gretchen Mueller. Mueller is actually going to be in the Buffalo Wild Wings series next season, believe it or not. And she's going to bow for a truck series championship, believe it or not. I bet Dina Vols, I'm probably thinking to myself, how did that happen? I don't know. Yeah, I can safely say Lucky Prescott has officially been eliminated from the playoffs. I just don't think, with where she's at in points, I don't think it's going to be enough for her to get into the top 30 in points. So I can definitely say Diana Lawson, Lucky Prescott are more than likely about to be eliminated from the playoffs, unless they get a second win, which is pretty much looking like that's not going to happen. There we go. Just getting the schedule out. And no, I just want this down and you up. There. That's what I wanted. Sorry about that. I was trying to get this down. So as I said, next week we have the penultimate race for the Truck Series. They're at Charlotte. We'll head to Charlotte for Buffalo Wild Wings Series. It will be the History 300. And then we will have 2 races that we will have for Monster Energy. Excuse me. And that would be the first part will be the division races. The second part of the Monster Energy Series will be the Coke 600, the longest race of the year, which those drivers that made the rookie race will do a full 600 miles. And they better be ready to go. Then, but before we go to Charlotte next week, we have a little business to take care of for the Monster Energy Series drivers. Those that fail to qualify for Ricky, they will get a bonus race next week at coming up first at Talladega. So the spare haulers will drop off the Charlotte cars, come back at the Talladega. So yeah, because the next race you'll see after Hillside will be the Talladega bonus video, and that is only going to be for the drivers that failed to qualify for the Ricky race for the Monster Energy Series. Because we did not do divisions, may I remind you. So there you go. And I believe all of the Triple P drivers will be at that race next week. So we're definitely looking forward to the Talladega deal. Then we will start the Charlotte weekend. Of course, we'll have the AutoZone Amateur Series, the Coca-Cola Truck Series, the Buffalo Wild Wings Series, who's racing right now, and the Monster Energy Series. And they'll be getting ready to lap Bell San Diego. And Bell San Diego continuing to be a great teammate to the 43 by holding up the 09. That will bring Lulu Champagne up to 3rd. Really important for Lulu Champagne, because if she were to go to victory lane, she could be a driver into the playoffs and possibly returning back to the Monster Energy Series, believe it or not. Because remember, the top 10 drivers at the end of this season in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series, if you make it to the Elite 8, you automatically lock yourself a spot into the Monster Energy Series. Now, Chloe Carmichael continuing will now get in the way. Oh, Lulu Champagne in the wall. After contact with the 11, that's female abuse. And she probably got some right side damage on that 42. I can't see the right side of her car. But it looks like she got the wall after contact. And she scraped it. I don't think it's going to hurt the car. So there may be some damage to the 42. I think that was because they were trying to get around a lap car. And they kept it going, so we keep it together. We're past the halfway point in this race. Of course, this series and the Monster Energy Series, it is getting crowded as far as winners and trying to make the playoffs. We have a bunch of drivers who've won this season trying to make the playoffs in the Monster Energy Series. Samantha Greenville trying to make it both Red Bull drivers that have been to victory lane this season. But as I said, these drivers have not been to pit road for the last time today. And they're about to put Sean Art a lap down. Of course, this is the last race for Sean today, as far as this race weekend, him and Jesse. We will not see Sean and Jesse until we go to Talladega for the Monster Energy Series drivers. For those that DNQ'd at Ricky. Of course, I won't be entering Talladega, because I will be staying up here in the booth. I know Nathan Orman's going to be racing in that race. I know Cody will be in that race. I'll have to see who else is going to be in that race. I believe Stephanie Driscoll, this would be her final scheduled race until the playoffs. While this battle for the lead's going on, I'm going to go ahead and put some ice in my water. As the 45 continues to be a great teammate to the 43. cautions out. That was a perfect timing to get a water break. It looks like they're coming to pit road. We're about to find out what the yellow is for. As Paul Michaels leads us under the yellow. Let's see who brought out this caution. Oh, Bridget Thomas was collected. Annie Winters. So both Winters are out. See what happened to the both of them. Oh, 40 got spun. It's been a bad day for Chip Ganassi Racing. Oh, Amanda Wallace might have had something to do with it. Or 40 got loose, tried to save it, and she came down into the 22. And then whammo! 98 had nowhere to go. So Annie Winters and Bridget Thomas Day is done. That was a big hit for the both of them. That was kind of head on, if you ask me. Glad to see the window nets come down on those drivers. That's a signal they are okay. Jessie Art won the battle at pit road, and she will be the race leader, I believe, if I'm correct. And yes, I am correct. So the 40 and the 98 out of the race, they joined the rest of these other drivers behind the wall. So with 7 races to go, it's getting really critical. Sean Art trying to get one of his laps back. He is 3 laps down. Sean's trying to get himself back in the top 30 in points. Jessie Art, on the other hand, is trying to get a win to get in the playoffs. Same with Emily Elizabeth. That would be good for Emily Elizabeth to not only get a win, get in the top 30 in points, but could keep her from losing her charter for next season. Of course, Emily Elizabeth's got 5 more races to run in the Monster Energy Series before she is done for the season over there. We talked about Sean Art, who's been to Victory Lane before. Jessie has not been to Victory Lane any of the PCSRA series. Trying to make the playoffs for what would be the first time in her career. She's not won in trucks. She's not won in this series. And Jessie Art, interestingly enough, she most recently graduated from high school. Amanda Wallace in the 22. Trying to give Team Penske a trip to Victory Lane. Of course, her teammate Jared Underhill out of the race due to that big wreck we had under that first yellow earlier in this race. As hello, pace car, you hit the wrong button. There's Samantha Greenville. How about the rookie J.J. Park up here in the 7? 26 in points. Haven't seen him for much of this race in that red and blue number 7 out of Junior Motorsports. Junior Motorsports has been a team that's been okay this year. John Wesley Allen just moving up in there, so both the Red Bulls in the top 10. A second win for John Wesley Allen could solidify himself a spot into the playoffs. Amanda Wallace is trying to make the playoffs, as that was contact there between the 09 and somebody. I don't know who made, let's see. 09 just got loose. She's got a loose race car. That was almost 4 wide there, but they keep it together. Amanda Wallace has the lead, as we're getting closer to 100 laps complete. All these drivers that don't have a win, if they win today, they would have a spot into the playoffs. For the 09, a third win for the 09 could get her much more playoff points going into the reformatted playoff standings. Jesse Art trying to make the playoffs. Paul Michaels trying to make both Petty cars go to victory lane and solidify themselves into the playoffs. The 5 drivers, by the way, who came into this race in the danger zone of losing their charter were, as the 43 is going to retake the lead, they were Emily Elizabeth, Samantha Greenville, J.J. Park, Bridget Thomas, and Monica Towns. Those were the 5 that needed good runs to keep their charters for next season. Belle San Diego, again, just trying to make her teammate happy. Somebody scraped the wall. Oh, we got a wreck in the back. We got a wreck in the back in turn 3, and it's a big one. It's a big one. Oh, the 1 car almost turned to 7. Sierra Harris again, Max Lipson. Ivory Walker, that's a driver who didn't need this. Oh boy. That might have just took Ivory Walker out of the top 30 in points. Emily Elizabeth was collected in this incident. Caution out again. Let's see, Max Lipson thought he was clear, didn't realize the 66 was there. Wesley Allen collected. Wagner's in it. That's 4th in points. Carla Sanat nowhere to go. There's the contact with Ivory Walker. Monica Towns, Xavier Alsop, Sierra Harris gets a piece of it. Possibly Lulu Champagne. Oh boy. Carla Sanat, her day looks like to be done. But Ivory Walker, that is a huge name. 28th in points, former winner this season. That might have just took her out of the top 30 right there, ladies and gentlemen. She needed a good run today. It might not happen for her. And she was a total of 41 points ahead of 30th in the standings, which was Chloe Carmichael. And Carmichael's 26, so... Ooh. It's going to be close. It's going to be close if that 70 is going to stay in the top 30 in points. I know Bridget Thomas is also already in danger of losing her charter for next season. Shut up, virus. So we're back to green with 35 to go. Jesse Art's got some damage to the right side of her Toyota. So far, Sean Art's the only JGR car that's been to victory lane this season other than Pete Heller. I think. Let me double check. Or no, I take that back. Only Sean Art's been to victory lane this season. I take that back. '70 is back out on track, 1 lap down in 20th. And Ivory Walker absolutely could not afford another dismal finish, considering she came in this race 41 points ahead of 30th in the standings. I think she might be okay with the fact that Lainey Fredrickson's out of the series. And Chloe Carmichael came in this race in that critical 30th in the points. Sean Art is 24th. Lucky Prescott 23rd. Diana Lawson's up there in 6th. This is a well-needed run for Diana Lawson. I know April Winters is going to drop in the points. I know that Fredrickson will, as I said, is out of the series, so she'll continue to drop in points. As Monica Towns is in the way. They split her. Thankfully, they split her. So the leaders have gotten away. Stephanie Driscoll's up here. If she goes to victory lane, that is huge for her. Knowing that she comes to this race second in the points. Oh, and Yo Knight just got wrecked by a lap car and no caution. Greta Wagner's got damage. See what happened here. Oh, she ran the back of the 10 and put herself into the wall. She's got some significant damage to the right side of her Mikasuki machine, as the 10 has got some more damage to the rear of his Chevy. And no cautions out. I think that was because she saved it. What it did, however, is broke the pack up, and Paul Michaels is leading this race. And Stephanie Driscoll is in danger of missing the playoffs. Of course, next week concludes 5 straight races for trucks, as they will be off next week, or after next week's race at Charlotte, because we'll have the AutoZone Amateur Series at Milwaukee. And then we will have Buffalo Wild Wings and Monster Energy Series. By the way, non-charter drivers will return next week at Charlotte. I forgot, I did not bring that up to everybody. So we will have non-charter drivers back in both trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings series. So that will be a longer race weekend. And that's a race that we will record as the two Petty cars just took each other out. Oh no, Driscoll just wrecked somebody. Oh, it's a huge one. Oh no. No, 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 no. Come on, Bella. You just wrecked the field, you dumb little bitch. And Makoto Tanaka leads this race. Oh my God. Bella San Diego, you are a dumb little bitch. That's the second time the Petty Motorsports entries took each other out. And that was not paying any attention. Just put her teammate in the wall. Oh, man. John Wesley Allen had nowhere to go and lost control of his car. And then male abuse for the one of Driscoll. That's second in points. Molly Thomas had a great run going. John Wesley Allen backs his car into the wall. Oh, wow. Shot by the 36. Sean Art got a piece of it. Here, the 20 of Jake Putnam got collected. Oh, yeah, Sean saved it. Went up in the air. Oh, my goodness. Well, I cannot believe it. It happened again. Thankfully, the 43 continued on, but driver, crew chief, car 45 to the big black and yellow truck after the race, and rightfully so. And I don't know how Sean Art did not get taken out of the race from that. And that just helped Lucky Prescott. Out of the race, and there are a lot of them. John Wesley Allen, Molly Thomas, tough break for her. She'll finish 18th in her first start of the year. Samantha Greenville's out of the race, so that's both the Red Bull cars out of the race. Jake Putnam's out. White Garcia, Jesse Art. Mia Watts is out of the race, and the 13 of Monica Towns. And Belle San Diego has been ordered to meet with race control. And that could be a huge penalty that she could get. Now what that did is change the complexion of this race, as the 44 is now in the lead. Question is, how much damage does the 43 have? Paul Michaels has got to be pissed. He's got to be pissed off. I still can't believe Stephanie Driscoll, who was involved, got a piece of it. And I don't know how much damage the 09 has to the right side of that Mikazuki machine. Looks like a little bit. Xavier Alsop has popped up out of nowhere. Boy, the officials are absolutely not going to be happy about this. Neither is Richard Petty himself. Of course, these two teammates took each other out of Arizona. I understand Belle San Diego is trying to salvage what she can out of this race, but that doesn't mean put your teammate in the wall and cause a huge wreck that really should have not happened. As we have 10 laps of racing to go. Luke Peters has taken the race lead. This is an opportunity for a driver And guess what? The last person that does not want to see this is Stephanie Driscoll. She does not want another driver who has not won this season to go to victory lane, because that could mean Stephanie Driscoll could be out. And Diana Lawson is in 5th. That's even horrible news. But this is a well-needed run for Diana Lawson, as she's trying to make the playoffs. In fact, these 3 cars right here have not been to victory lane. The 11, 44, and 7. They win, they're into the playoffs. Boy. And we would have all playoff spots in the Buffalo Wild Wings series filled with race winners this season. Gonna have 11 cars finish the race on the lead lap and 18 in the race. Sean Hart, Lucky Prescott, well-needed runs for those two. And there's the 45 going to get in the way as we're going to have 5 laps of racing to go. Max Lipson has been called to meet with the officials in the big black and yellow truck for not getting out of the leader's way. I bet the officials are probably just getting annoyed with these lap cars in the way. And all those lap cars that have been a nuisance have been asked to see the officials, so that doesn't surprise me. What would surprise me is if Diana Lawson gets a second win right here, right now. Because then that would be huge. As we have 3 laps of racing to go coming up. JJ Park's got to make his move. Same with Diana Lawson. Here comes Park. He's underneath the 44. JJ Park trying to make the playoffs for the first time in his career. Diana Lawson having a great result. This could really help her get closer to 30th in the standings. 2 to go. And I can tell you this, none of the Junior Motorsports cars have been to victory lane this season, believe it or not. White flag for the number 7 out of Junior Motorsports, the Branch Chevrolet, the red and blue car. Another first-time winner. Sean Hart's going to get in the way. This could be a photo finish. Here we come off turn number 4. Oh, they're crashing! JJ Park wins! And they wrecked coming to the checkers. Sean Hart just got wrecked coming to the checkers. And that was coming to the checker flag. Nice save for Sean. JJ Park gets his first career Buffalo Wild Wings Series win. Did that do him? Could that mean JJ Park is into the playoffs? Holy cow. Cannot believe this. Let me take a sip of my drink. Or get some drink. And the last person who did not want to see that was Driscoll. And now Stephanie Driscoll is out of the playoffs as of right now with 7 races to go. Wow. My. Has this playoff format changed the complexion JJ Park, the winner. Great job to him. Makoto Tanaka should have won this race, but got wrecked by Sean. I bet that's not going to sit well. Plus, that would be male abuse on the 44. Xavier Alsop finished third. He was top 10 in the points coming in this race. He'll move himself in the top 10 in points. That is a well-needed run for Diana Lawson. Fourth place, 38th in points. Where will this situate her? Because she came into this race, let's see, 214 back of 30th in the standings, and she finished ahead of Chloe Carmichael, so she's definitely going to cut that gap down by a long shot. Stephanie Driscoll will have to settle for 5th, so Stephanie Driscoll, unless she wins, we're looking at a driver inside the top 10 in the points, missing the playoffs. That's a little scary, if you ask me. Paul Michael 6th, Luke Peters 7th, Greta Wagner 8th, Lulu Champagne, great run for her in 9th, 18th in the points, so she'll move up through the top 10 in points. And Emily Elizabeth, well-needed run for a driver who's really had a tough year. Came in this race 32nd in the points, so a top 10 in the 10th position is a silver lining. Sierra Harris 11th, she's had an eventful day. Lucky Prescott came home in 13th. Talk about a driver who had a really bad day and turned something positive, getting a top 15. We'll see where this situates Prescott, but this is a well-needed run from her. Sean Art, 16th. He came into this race a total of, let's see, 4 points back was Rankin, 55 back was Emily Elizabeth. Carla Sanat was 76, and then 76 plus 47 is what? And he also finished ahead of Carmichael. I gotta get a calculator. Come on, calculator. I'm trying to get a calculator so I can get this puzzle solved. Oh, and my NR froze. Hang on. Oh, there we go. NR's back. Okay, there we go. I was trying to figure something out. I was trying to get a calculator, and then my laptop. Do not start with me. I'm trying to get a stupid calculator, and you're being a derping hyena. That's what I was trying to pull out, yet. Okay, I'm gonna go smack you. Laptop is about to get smacked. I'm trying to get the stupid calculator out so I can do some calculations, you derping hyena. Thank you for the love of Pete Heller. That was what I was trying to do in the first place, you derping hyena. Okay. So. Nice, okay, where was I? Oh, yeah, 76. Sean was, let's see, 47. Sean was 123 points back of 30th in the standings. We'll see where that's going to situate him in the points. Apologize if my laptop's trying to be a derping hyena, if you know what I mean, so. Bell San Diego, last car to finish the race, as we only had 11 cars on track, 18 on the lead lap, everyone else out of the race. Stay right here. We're going to have the point standings coming up next so we can do some calculations. But J.J. Park, congratulations on his first career Buffalo Wild Wings Series win. Did that put J.J. Park into the playoffs? We're about to find out. So stay right here, ladies and gentlemen. Before this laptop decides to be a derping hyena. So, yeah. I can guarantee you this is going to be a bloodbath. Oh, whoops, I was going the wrong way. Six cautions, wow. How many did we have in our truck race? I'm curious. our truck race, the race analysis, they only had 5 yellows, and then the AutoZone Amateur Series race had 3. So, are we going to have a wreck fest in Monster tomorrow? We're going to hope, we're praying that's not going to be the case. Oh boy, let's see what this did to the points. Before my laptop does something really stupid and drunk. Okay, and there's the point standings, and I was correct. Stephanie, despite DNFing, Ari Springer did have a huge points lead, so she will keep the points lead heading into next week's race. Diana Lawson moved herself up to 36 in the points. Could be too little, too late, but we'll just have to wait and see. Of course, Molly Thomas is going to start passing all of these drivers who came in late in the season. So, yeah. So, as I said, Lainey Fredrickson's season is done in the 36, and Molly Thomas is going to take over for the rest of the season. Of course, that team going to have their long work cut out for them to make the playoffs. Well, that's going to do it, my friends. JJ Park, with his win, is now 17th. And you know what that also means? Let me look here. Did Ivory Walker kept herself out of the top 30, kept herself safe. But now Maria Nowicki cannot ill afford any more bad finishes in the next 7 races, or she could find herself possibly outside the top 30 in the points. So, yes. So, the 12 playoff drivers that would be in the playoffs right now would be Greta Wagner, Ari Springer, Wyatt Garcia, Max Lifson, Darby King, John Wesley Allen, April Winters, Belle San Diego, JJ Park with his win, Ivory Walker, and Maria Nowicki. That means 12 drivers inside the top 30 in points. That would be your 12 drivers if the playoffs were to start today. But we still have a long way to go. Next week, we'll see these drivers at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Hopefully, that will be an exciting race. But we cap off this race weekend with the Monster Energy Series, as that playoff grid is getting a little bit congested over there. And we will not find out who will be the 16 drivers to battle out for this season's chase until the regular season checker flag, which is going to be a pain in the you-know-what. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race from Hillside. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We've shown you your full finisher results. You're looking at your rookie points down there, your overall points heading into next week at Charlotte. Looking forward to the Monster Energy Series race tomorrow, as we'll see who will win those 4 divisions and see what this did to their playoff grid before we have first to take care of some business with the Monster Energy Series drivers, as they will first start the Charlotte weekend on the high banks at Talladega, and then we'll have Trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings non-charter races, and then all 4 series with their main event points. That will be a lot of fun. So until then, I've been Dean DeVoe signing off. And congratulations one last time to JJ Park on the win. And you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of the PCSRA, the best in racing since 2017. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the Monster Energy Series race. Goodbye from Hillside.